Coming up on ATV News.
I'm not going to lie.
She says she's running for Senate, and they say they're marching for solidarity. Why they both came together here in Logan.
With another government shutdown possible, we'll show you what's at stake on Capitol Hill.
USU found an unconstitutional rule on its books. We'll tell you what it was and what they did about it.
In sports, I'll show you why the USU basketball team dropped the ball this weekend.
Oh, the weather outside is frightful, and I'll tell you which days those will be in weather.
All that and more, this is ATV News.
Welcome to ATV News. I'm Yasmina Giri.
And I'm Alex Zellner. President Trump is starting his second year in office, and the women who marched against him last year are still protesting. Women all over the nation gathered together Saturday afternoon on the anniversary of the largest women's march in history. ATV's Erin Cox shows us who came together to march here in Logan.
Poster making.
We're getting ready to go out and protest in front of the courthouse.
So they can make a point.
Destroy the patriarchy and not our planet.
This is really about women's voices.
And about how men treat them.
I'm very upset about the way Trump talks about women, so I'm glad that we've got women together to fight back a little bit.
Here at the Logan Library, there weren't a lot of people making posters, but if you come with me across the street to the courthouse, that's a different story.
A crowd of more than 100 marchers
As a way to maintain their power.
and U.S. Senate candidate Jenny Wilson.
I'm not going to lie. January 20th of 17 was a very, very low day for me, and I know for many of you.
Shared messages of political change.
I think our state is better served by balance, and we're not seeing that right now.
And hope and support for immigrant families.
We owe it to our parents for the opportunity to, one, be here in the United States, but two, to be living examples of the American dream.
We're in this together, and we got to keep working together, and we got to keep marching on.
Erin Cox, ATV News.
Marchers said they gathered not just in protest, but also to honor feminism and women.
The United States government is back at work today after Congress passed a short-term spending bill on Monday, ending the three-day shutdown. White House Press Secretary Sarah Huckabee Sanders says the bill only extends the current budget until February 8th. And with the shutdown lifted, Utah's politicians gathered on Capitol Hill yesterday to start the 45-day legislative session, and Bronson Tykert went to opening day to find out how DACA can impact us here in our state.
The anthem and prayer start the session where ideas and laws are debated. There will be hundreds of bills proposed during the Utah legislative session of 2018. Here are some of the main issues lawmakers want to resolve.
There's promises that have been made that the February 8th meeting or deadline that we will finally take care of DACA. We have to take care of that. That is one of the top priorities, I think, in this nation.
I'm from Mexico, Morelos.
DACA could impact this Latino group of Boy Scouts from West Valley City, but these boys say they want to contribute to the community.
We're gonna be presenting the colors. We're gonna be the color guard.
Color guard, attention!
It's a bit nerve-wracking, the anxiety, but we practiced and we hope that it goes good.
Forward march!
Prove to ourselves that we're capable of doing something this important.
Color guard, halt!
Governor Herbert says children brought to the U.S. by their parents should be able to call America their home.
These are young people that really, for all intents and purposes, are Americans, and that's the only country they know. And we should, in fact, treat them as such, find a way to, in fact, keep them legal. Doesn't mean necessarily that they become citizens, but provide an opportunity for them to live their dreams here in America.
Herbert says it doesn't make sense to force children out of the United States back to their country of origin, one they might not even remember. Bronson Tykert, ATV News.
Before the February 8th deadline, Utah lawmakers will discuss a compromise for immigration on the state level.
If you've been asked a couple of times this week to sign a petition, you are not alone.
Bud, you have a chance to sign our petition, lower the cost of health care.
These advocates are looking to get signatures from the students here at USU.
This is a petition to get it on the ballot so that everyone can vote for it this November. It's called the Utah Decides Healthcare Act of 2018. We've kind of got most of the students here in Logan. You know, everyone's getting a little tired of us asking, but we want to make sure we can get this on the ballot, so we want to make sure we can get everybody to sign.
In order to get on the ballot, they need 113,000 signatures. They say the Utah Decides Healthcare campaign is petitioning in several cities across the state, and Logan is just one of their stops. The Logan City Council and the Mayor's office have been talking about building a new library for some time now. Chaz Ricks joins us live to tell us more about where the city may be building it. Chaz?
I'm here behind the Merrill-Kazir Library, where they have modern classrooms and modern computer labs, and it's just a modern library. However, the library in Logan City was built 90 years ago, and now they're thinking of building a new one. I went to find out why. Avery is practicing her ABCs inside the Logan Library. The building went up 90 years ago, but it wasn't the library. It was a dance hall, later a Sears store, and then converted into a library. Employees say the age shows. Duct tape carpet. These buckets catch water from the leaky ceiling and windows. A heating and cooling system that leaves employees too hot in the summer and too cold in the winter that no one knows how to fix and can't even get parts for anymore. 2 years ago, it got to be over 100 degrees and forced the library to close. This librarian says she loves her job, but when it's over 100 degrees,
it really does make it rough on the staff and the patrons, because the staff, we're here 8 hours a day, and when it's about 100 degrees in the building, you have to frequently take breaks and go outside.
They say the worst part is patrons can't enjoy many of the services the library offers. Between these walls, floor, and ceiling, the library not only offers books, audiobooks and DVDs, access to internet and computers. They even have a program called Book a Librarian, where they teach you how to access those things one-on-one. Director Karen Clark says the library has become more than just a place to check out books. It's a social center, and she wants to have better facilities to better serve the public.
Our patrons deserve such a better place to be. The ones that come and spend the time here at the library, they deserve a wonderful building.
And with half the library parking now gone, it will be more difficult for many of their patrons to come, enjoy, and stay at the library. Now, the library does have an option to purchase a property just north of Logan High School, where the abandoned Grizzly Station sits. They have that option until March 1st. Mayor Holly Daines and the Logan City Council had a meeting last week and estimated that the new library will cost anywhere from $10 to $13 million. Now, Mayor Holly Daines says that they already have $9 million set aside to build the library. Chaz Ricks reporting live.
Thanks, Chaz.
Soon, you'll be able to use the new paths at Logan's Rendezvous Park, as the restoration of Logan River is set to be completed next fall. ATV Ford's Rasmussen shows you how much has changed.
The Logan River restoration that started last fall will be an ongoing process, says project manager Darren Olson. Many invasive trees along the river have been removed, but more is to be done.
There'll be a forest of these invasive trees if we don't take care of them over time.
Removing the trees was part of the process to realign the river. Behind me is the new bend in the river. This area used to be covered in trees. Now the Logan River flows along a safer path that should reduce flooding. The tree removal company took out many of the exotic trees last fall. Owner Mark Malmstrom says the invasive trees spread quickly and crowd out the native plants.
We removed primarily crack willow, which is native to Europe, European elm, which is native to Europe, and then a few other species that didn't belong.
The crack willows used to be so thick you'd have to climb over trees, according to Olson. Now the trail is reopening, and a new pathway makes the area easier to navigate. Olson says he's already seen good response from the public.
Once people understand the nature and the intent of the project, they're generally very supportive.
I feel like they're making it better and better for the future.
Olson says this restoration has produced a lot of excitement about the park, a project that was a collaboration between the city and the university.
And this is a good example of how you bring those resources together.
Ford Rasmussen, ATV News.
The city says the replanting of native vegetation will begin in the spring, after the snow melts. When we come back, unconstitutional rules in USU elections will tell you what happened.
Scholarships in Soto will show you who is eligible and where the money comes from.
Quiet, please. Wait a sec. I'll take one. Oh yeah. All right. All good. Take care. Way to go. Nice. Bring it on. Gotcha. I'm here for you. Oh no. Please, please, please. I'm waiting. Interesting. Not buying it. Not fair. That's it. This conversation is over. Oh, brother.
Body language can tell you all sorts of things.
I'm having a stroke. I'm having a stroke.
Know the sudden signs. Learn fast. F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time. Time to call 911 immediately. The sooner they get to the hospital, the sooner they'll get treatment, and that can make a remarkable difference in their recovery. Learn the body language, the sudden signs, and spot a stroke fast.
You may have heard that Pepsi is a sponsor of the university. That's not just for sports, though. It's also scholarships. First and second year students who live in Central Campus housing are eligible for a $150 rent credit and access to an academic mentor through the Smart Start program. Pepsi makes an annual donation to USU Dining. Housing and Residence Life has teamed up with Dining to make the scholarship possible. The money also funded a study area called The Station in the basement of the Junction, a resource they say is good for their students.
And we've found that this really helps our students be able to focus academically and have a place near the residence hall where they can go and study and meet with friends and sometimes just be social.
The scholarship was started to help students stay in school because second-year students have the highest dropout rate.
If you're looking forward to USUSA elections this year, you won't have to wait too long thanks to some changes to the election rules. ATV's Shani Howard asked election officials why the rules were changed and if they think it could be beneficial.
These guys are all using social media on their phones. They are running for USU student body president. This year is the first time they'll be able to campaign on it this early.
In an effort to keep the students from, from having grievances with each other and causing issues, we were maybe overreaching, on free speech.
As in years past, students are not allowed to campaign on campus until 2 weeks before the voting. But they can use social media and campaign off campus because student involvement leaders determined that their ban was unconstitutional.
Students involved with elections say they hope their new rules will give voters the chance to get to know their candidates better.
I actually kind of think that's going to be a really good thing for the students, like not the candidates, but just the students who are voting, because it kind of gives you an earlier start on thinking about who you might want to vote for and doing some research into like who you would like as your student leader.
Olson says more campaign time might not be a good idea.
If they want to, they can start, saying that I want to run for USU president, at the beginning of the semester. Now they might drive everybody crazy on social media and ultimately drive people away, but they have that option if they so desire.
Shani Howard, ATV News.
You can find out more about the election, the rules changes, and who is running by going to our Facebook page.
USU students are swapping used sweatshirts for new ones this week, and they say it's all for a good cause. These students are turning in their old sweatshirts for a new Utah State one. As a longtime tradition here, this sweater swap is part of our Traditions Week.
And today, in order to swap a sweater, you bring a sweater from another university or high school or an old Utah State one, and you swap it for a brand new sweater, as the one I'm wearing.
Loftus says the more than 400 donated sweaters will go to the local CAPSA shelter and be given to victims of abuse.
If you have moved out of an apartment or house, you know how much extra junk that can create. True Blue Reuse is hoping to change that. In the basement of Mountain View Towers, you can find used clothes, shoes, blankets, and even Tupperware. True Blue Reuse is part of a national service that is helping students move out of their dorm rooms. In return, students donate their unwanted items to the thrift store rather than throwing them away. All money gathered goes towards humanitarian efforts and can be used to help clubs on campus, something they say helps give back to the university.
We're going to hopefully be here to support other clubs as a funding, because since we're with the school, we don't have any bills we need to pay, which is super cool. That's why the prices are cheap, and I don't need a paycheck. So the money's back towards the students.
If you would like to donate clothes, you can get the store credit to use on other items for sale. When we come back, ATV's Haley Hendricks will have your full Cache Valley weather report.
Right now it's sunny and 41 degrees.
They said I couldn't dream. Called me a piece of trash and swore that's all I'd ever be. Said a bottle couldn't see the ocean. Give up. Go back to the dumpster. But I didn't listen. I made my way. And now, I am what I've always wanted to be.
Can you consent with me? Imagine what you'd see if every child had a book to read. So the mission is for us to get a book to each and every child. So let's join hands, book people unite, unearth hidden passion. Come on, we'll have a good time. One book could be the first element, helps to change a life. Book people unite.
Read to a child today and spark a lifetime of ambition.
They're coming. Places, everybody.
Light check. 1, 2, 1, 2.
Everything looks good on our end.
And lights.
Come alive with the forest. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
Welcome back to ATV News. Haley Hendricks joins us here in the studio. And Haley, how's the weather?
It's looking pretty good, getting a little bit chilly out there right now.
Are we going to see some snow this weekend maybe?
Well, let me tell you about that. All right, so if we look over here at our national forecast that we've got right now, so coming up, we've got on the east coast, or on the west coast, excuse me, we've got some snowfall that's going to be bringing its way over to Utah here in the next few days. But if we take a look over here, right here in our Midwest and our West Coast, everything's looking pretty good right now. We do have a little bit of a storm right down here in Mexico that's going to be coming up along the southern tip of Texas. But let me tell you guys about our local forecast. So as I was just saying, we do have a storm that will be coming through here in the next few days. Right now here in northern Utah, everything's looking pretty good. A little bit of showers, getting a little bit cloudy out there. But if I take you over to our 7-day, I can show you a little bit more. All right, so right here we're on Wednesday. So Wednesday we see it's been pretty partly cloudy today, pretty good. Sitting around the 41, going to be a low tonight of 26. But then as we come over into the latter half of the week, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, we're going to start to see a little bit of precipitation, a little bit of snow going to be coming out. So as you're driving, be careful on the roads. Take extra time. I mean, getting to work, just be cautious. And then as we come over here into the weekend, later in the weekend, we're going to see Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday here. Everything's going to start clearing up, no snow on the roads. Everything's going to be good, partly cloudy. But keep that in mind. Temperatures are going to be low, but they're going to be starting to get a little bit higher as we start moving on into next week.
Wow, so sounds like we're going to get a little bit of snow in there, but it should be actually a fun weekend. Maybe go sledding or something.
Yeah, I'm thinking about going sledding down Old Main this weekend. Sounds like a good time.
Well, I don't like snow, so for me, a good thing sports is indoors. But speaking of sports, coming up, women's tennis had their home opener on Saturday. I'll show you what happened. And you know how you feel about the basketball team's loss, but we'll let you know how they feel.
Separate raw meats from other foods by using different cutting boards. 3,000 Americans will die from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
Sorry, I've got big ideas.
As a college student, you have big ideas to make a big difference on campus. Why not get funding for those ideas in a big way? The Blue Goes Green Grant provides funding for student sustainability projects. These projects help USU students be more environmentally responsible, live healthier, and save money. To find out more, go to usu.edu/BGG. Get funding for your Blue Goes Green idea in a big way. Blue Goes Green. Make a difference.
We had a bunch of defensive breakdowns and too many just dumb offensive mistakes, and can't have that if you expect to win against a good team.
We were panicked on both ends, did not execute on either end at that point. And again, I know we're tired at that point, but that cannot be somewhere that we go.
Coach Duryea and sophomore Sam Merrill clearly frustrated by their team's performance on Saturday. Home ain't what it used to be, as the Aggies lost their second straight home game this weekend. How's it going, guys? I'm Braden Clark, and this is ATV Sports. Going into Saturday's game, the Aggies had a great opportunity to climb their way up the Mountain West Conference ladder, just a game behind being in third place, so what could go wrong? The Cowboys got going early with this nice give and go to Hayden Dalton. He has an easy 2 points. Dalton sinks a 3 here. He had 16 points at halftime. They seem to be scoring at ease on the Aggies in the first half with this nice putback dunk by Dalton. The Aggies struggled to score in the first half, though, shooting 28% at the break. They trailed 42-25 at the half. The second half, a lot better for the Aggies. They shot 56% in this half. However, being down 17 isn't an easy thing to do. But the Aggies managed to climb back and even gain the lead. After this Kobe McEwen free throw, he had 19 points on the day. However, that's where the good news ends for the Aggies. They wouldn't have another made basket until the 2 minutes left in the game. The Aggies dropped this one 85-77. Our women's team traveled to Wyoming on Saturday and lost 61-44. Our women's tennis team is back in action as they opened up season play on Saturday. The Aggies played a total of 9 matches against the Southern Utah Thunderbirds. Of those 9, 3 were doubles. The Aggies won all 3, with victories from Pisareva and Demereth, O'Meara and Kane, and lastly Taylor and Helias. The Aggies also played 6 solo matches, and only dropping 1 of those, with victories from Pisareva, Tanui, Jones, O'Meara, and Demereth. The Aggies send the Thunderbirds packing with a 6-1 victory.
Our first match of the year, I think that we came out and we're pretty aggressive and dictated most points, and we had ups and downs like we expect to have, but we had a lot of players find a way to stay consistent in what we've been working on, and I think we got a little bit better today, so that was the whole goal.
USU Gymnastics had their home opener and topped both San Jose State and Sacramento State with their season-high score of 195.45 to improve their early record to 2-1 on the season. A great start for the new head coach, Amy Smith.
Big improvement. We wanted to open last weekend with the 195. We did it this weekend. They really took the parts to work on and put it in play tonight, and we got it done. So it's exciting.
You're all caught up here on Aggie Sports. Back to Alex and Yasmin at the desk.
Thanks, Braden. Coming up, still looking to achieve some New Year's resolutions? The gym could help in more ways than one.
A restaurant here in Logan was forced to change its name. We'll tell you why.
Oh, look, a redhead.
Staring contest.
You still got it. I know.
Come alive with the forest.
The dad was cute.
You were looking right at us.
Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
Five USU student bands performed at Battle of the Bands last week to see which group could outperform the other.
How does this all happen? How does time just disappear?
For the first time in 10 years, music lovers filled USU's ballroom to hear local bands play at Battle of the Bands. 5 bands competed for the votes of a crowd and judges for a chance to perform at the end of year bash. The live music had students tapping their feet, clapping their hands, and dancing to the beat. Student Connor Young says he too couldn't resist the catchy tunes.
The bands are really energetic. They've had pretty good sound. The crowd seems like they're having a great time, so I think it's a win-win-win.
Battle of the Bands was a part of the USU Arts Week.
We all know that going to the gym can help you get in shape, but ATV's Nicole Heaps shows you how physical fitness can also benefit your mental and emotional health.
Just like this Buns and Guns class at Utah State's Aggie Recreation Center, there are many ways fitness can be implemented into one's life, according to the teacher of the class. He says working out is something that should be prioritized.
People that aren't enthusiastic about fitness haven't tried it, because when you've given it an honest effort, you see the change that it makes in your life. It isn't just like what you see in the mirror, but what it does to the chemicals in your brain and in your body.
Working out releases endorphins and serotonin, which can decrease stress and enhance mood, according to livestrong.com. It can also better mental functioning and memory.
It's not just about decreasing risk of disease or being quote unquote fit or feeling fit, but it really is that these benefits have been proven to improve your GPA and help you be more successful in life, more productive.
So, making time for the gym before your next exam, according to the experts mentioned, could be pretty helpful. Nicole.
If you'd like more information on any of the campus recreation classes, visit our Facebook page.
Thank you for joining us on this edition of ATV News. You can catch all of our latest editions of ATV News on our Facebook page.
Have a great day, Aggies.